You're welcome for joining in at TAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel with global reach. You're watching Out of Bounds, and I'm T Rex. And I'm about to bring my crew in. And we'll start with JP. Hey JP, what you doing up at the top? How you doing, brother? Talk to me.
Good, good. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine, man. I'm doing fine.
I'm
Yeah, I'm
glad to have
doing
my
fine.
voice.
Okay. I'm glad to hear your voice. Next, we just go straight on down. Hey, Cheryl, say something to the people. How you doing?
Doing well. Hello, everyone. Happy early Thanksgiving, and of course, happy mental health.
Happy mental health.
Mhm.
And go ahead, Big Verge, talk to us.
Love, peace, and hair grease.
Okay, and hair grease. I hear you. And the doctor, how you doing, Doc? Talk to us.
Good evening, everyone. Hello. Happy to be here.
Hello. Well, I'm glad everybody's here and we're ready to go. We're missing one, but she's probably sick from partying too much. Had her little anniversary they had in Indianapolis, so she's a little hungover still. But okay, everybody. Before we start, though, I just want to put a little note out. I've noticed on the internet that they've changed the guidelines of what they call Black Friday. Before Black Friday was originally on the internet as a day they sold slaves after Thanksgiving. Now it's been erased, and that's a myth. So everyone remember that that's not a myth, it's the truth. Okay, with no further ado, here we go. Today, we're going to talk about what is a relationship. And since we're going to start it off, I figure we'll go with the most educated person on here. Let's talk to Dr. Darla. Go, girl. Tell us what you got to say. What is a relationship?
That's a very broad question. So, do you mean what is a relationship just in general, or as it relates to dating? Like, when does dating turn into a relationship?
Well, let's just go with the what is a relationship for general. Then we come back and we have our discussion. You can tell me what your idea of a relationship is.
Okay. Well, I mean, a relationship is I think it's any continuous action between two individuals. That's a relationship. It could be romantic, it could not be romantic, but if you're having continued interaction with another person, then you're in a relationship.
Okay. Okay. That
Could
sounds
be a work
good.
relationship. I have a relationship with my dog.
You do.
Okay. All right, there. That's good.
He's
That's
amazing.
good. All right, Cheryl. Just a quick, sweet answer on your psych
Oh, yeah.
there, and tell us what we're gonna feel it.
Well, just to bounce off of my soul roar, which of course was an excellent answer, by the way. Um,
Thank you.
it's about the foundation of the word, which is relating. So as long as we're relating with each other, that is a form of a relationship. And I don't have to say much more because Darla said it very clear. It's however the relationship is. Our relationships are what we make it, not what society says. It is between those individuals.
Okay. Okay. All right, Big Verge. Tell me what you think it is there, big brother.
You know what? That is such a simple term, but it's very complicated. So I'm just going to go ahead and default to my beautiful co-host and say it is whatever people decided it to be. Person such as myself, you know, uh, you know, it's an arrangement, it's an agreement,
It's an arrangement.
it's
Okay.
an arrangement and agreement. Good stuff.
All right. What'd you say there, JP?
Yes. Yes, everyone's comments spot on. Relationship can, again, it so complex at the same time. Uh, yeah, relationship custom defined, varies depending on the persons or things or uh, the opposite that you're dealing with. So I think it's just a relationship is that connection that again could be defined so many different ways.
Okay. I got you. Well, I think everybody hit it on the head in a roundabout way, but they were all correct. There was no disagreement. I agree with you 300%. The only thing that I found that when I started looking up relationship, it only told me about how many dates you got to go on. So I guess the limit of dates are 4 to 6 dates. And after the 4 to 6 dates, then you can sit down and discuss if you want to have a relationship. So with that being said, okay, let's just talk about relationships. We understand what is a relationship. We talked about that a little bit. Relationship is basically two people coming into it together and trying to figure out if they're going to be a couple or not. So, but what I want from you guys is to give me your own opinion on what is dating to you. So we'll start with Big Verge, since he didn't have too much to say last time. Talk to me, Verge.
What is dating to me? Dating is a mutual agreement between consensual adults. I use the big word, consensual adults, and it's whatever stipulation that you want to place on each other, or I would say boundaries, with each other. It's like the truth. It's a very fluent term, and depending on who you're talking to, it can be very complicated if arrangements are not clearly stated.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, let's go with the one who always got something to say about what you say. Get him, Cheryl. Tell him what it is.
Okay, first of all, me and Virgil are vibing tonight. I am with you, Coleman Love. I agree. It is complicated, it's complex, it's multi-layered. But also, I do agree with that. You must define the boundaries of your particular relationship. I know people have heard the term work wife, work husband. Even those kind of relationships have boundaries and expectations, even though we may use those in a comical way. So I do agree with Virgil on this point.
Can we get this on the record, Terry?
It might not happen again. So
it might not happen again. So let's make sure we get this on the record.
That's right. Oh no.
We lost you, Terry.
Yep.
There we go. All right, JP. Got to say, brother.
Yeah, I think everyone still nothing to really go against what everyone has said so far. It's just defining that dating atmosphere. You just have to be on the same page. If you're casually dating, if your target is more serious, I think again boundaries have to be set, and that be stated early so that there is less confusion and complications from either party.
Okay. All right there, Miss Darla. Tell us what you believe it is.
Well, I think it's extremely clear. I said last week that I believe dating is a process of gathering information. And we were talking in the romantic sense. You're gathering information about one another. Can I be with this person? Do we vibe? Do we have a connection, chemistry? Is it the physicality good? Do I like this person? Do I want to spend time with? That's dating. Relationship, when you're doing that for more than one date, that's, to me, it is a relationship. But I think that a lot of people confuse relationships with commitments. That's a different thing. So I'm in relationship with all of you. I have a relationship with all of you because we interact on more than just that one time basis. But a commitment requires, and these are all Darla-isms. I didn't look any of this up, but this is just my strongly held beliefs. But commitment is where you start to get to what a lot of people would call a relationship. That requires a meeting of the minds. It requires for both people to have input on wanting, making some type of agreement. And then what we've heard already during this discussion is, creating boundary together about the relationship that's a different thing.
Okay. All right. Well, don't go
Very
nowhere,
clear to
Darla.
me,
I'm gonna come
though.
right back. I'm gonna come right back to you, Darla. Don't go nowhere. My second question to you, Darla, is this: when does dating turn into a relationship? Is it 5 dates, 6 dates, or when you sit down on that second date and you have a connection that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I think it's when the two people have that meeting of the minds, and it could be at any given time. I think it depends upon a lot of factors. There could be a lot of variables at play that help people come to a conclusion more quickly or less quickly. But it's a matter of not so much the amount of time, but the clarity of the exchange between the two people, and that they're both agreeing that they're in the, they're making a commitment, whatever that commitment looks like. It could be that, you my woman, you my man, but I'm cool if you sleep with other people, but this is where, that's the commitment they made. That's not going to be the commitment I make with somebody else, but I'm just saying that could be a commitment that someone else makes. Some people say, we're going to get married, we're going to be engaged, whatever. It's the meeting of the minds and the understanding that the two people, or however many people, because we are in that day and age, it's whatever meeting of the minds that they come to and the agreement that those people involved make. If there's no understanding and everybody didn't come to that understanding, then there isn't a commitment. But that doesn't mean there isn't a relationship. There's still a relationship, though. Just maybe not a very good one.
Okay. Well, I'm going to switch gears on that question because that question was for you. This question is for Big Verge. In a relationship, and there are commitments, why do men, 90% of the relationship, we won't go that far, we'll say 60%, we'll be fair. 60% of relationships, once the commitment is made, the man goes west. Can you explain that why to me, brother?
Well, it could be a number of factors. So I'm just going to narrow it down. So it could be a number of factors. Maybe, and women, you have to agree. Sometimes some women are just not honest. Okay. So it could be, the man could have found something, maybe she has bad credit, maybe she doesn't do laundry. Okay.
So you're saying she catfished him. So she catfished
right.
him, Verge.
She pretty much catfished him, you know what I mean? She saw a good thing, and then she was just like, the guy found out, hey, I'm out, I mean, it's such a broad statement. It just really is. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, to be honest, and half the time, to be 110%, I'm just going to say, Terry, you edit me later. Meg probably got the cookie. The cookie was not as sweet as they thought it was going to be. And then, hey, he had to kick rocks. Now,
well, the Cookie Monster can't audit that one. That was a good one. You said the cookie. I understood.
Right. So if the cookie was not as chocolatey as a person expects it to be, or I love chocolate chip cookies. If it's not as chocolate as you expect it to be, I mean, it's pretty much we don't have anything else in common, from a man standpoint. Now I could be wrong, and the viewers would probably say, "Oh, he's bugging," but let's be honest, we all had to have that before. I have a lot of women friends, and and they've told me about some friends where they thought they had a 100% good expectation, and it was
didn't work out.
It was a 30-second knockout, and then it was like, hello. So
it was a long fishtail, but it was really only about that big. I understand.
My man.
I got you, brother. I got you. Hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to TAN TV, the African American Network. We have a local feel of global reach. And now we're going to talk to Cheryl, the psychic, see if she can read my mind and see what I'm about to ask her. Cheryl, when you're in a relationship, when you're in a relationship and the guy's hitting on all points, but he just kind of not available all the time. What goes through your mind when a guy's not available all the time in a relationship?
Unfortunately, this has happened quite a lot. I think that how it makes me feel is they really don't care. that maybe their intent of coming towards me was not clearly stated, or to steal from Virgil, they lying because contrary to what other people may think, men lie too. so, so I think, yeah, you're clutching your chest, yeah. So I just think that
pearls.
Yeah, he's clutching his pearls. I handed him my Delta pearls and gave it to him. Now I'm snatching. So, and then also just to go back to one thing Brother Virgil said about intimacy and sex. I think women are more tolerant of that than men are. I think that sometimes the first few times may not really meet what we thought the expectation was. But I think women are more patient and give more grace in that area. And I could be wrong, or maybe I'm just talking about myself. Darla, help me out. Viewers, please put your comments in the chat. But I just think that women have more grace when it comes to that. Because I firmly believe it can get better with time as we get to know each other better, our feelings can grow, and we've defined those boundaries in our relationship, and trust has been established.
Okay, I kind of feel that one, but JP, come on, brother, I gotta ask you a question. When you meet that special woman and you think she's all at about the 4th or 5th date, you decide to go into a relationship, and then you find out something that she didn't quite tell you. Are you more apt to be understandable, or are you just going to call it off if it's not anything major seriously? Like she said, she only had 1 kid, but she got 15. So tell me what you would do if it was just one little discrepancy in what she said.
Yeah, I think the key that you're saying is one little something major. I guess through experience, I've learned that you can't give a pass to something that you consider very major, because later on it just turns into more and more red flags or things that you didn't address, or your spidey sense was telling you to exit, and you didn't. So I would say if it's I don't quantify what is small, but if it's something that you feel that is minor or not a deal breaker, definitely communicate and say, hey, you didn't tell me that or whatever, and move on. But if it's something major, you got to get out, because you're just prolonging the inevitable.
Okay. I want to feed you with one little thing, everybody. When you meet that special one and you're out there and you kicking it, and y'all got that relationship going on, and then something just happens that's neither one or the other's fault. It just happens. Can you work through it? And that's the big question, because earlier today I got a couple of YouTube texts, and I watched some guys talk about what ladies don't do and what ladies need to do. And I think a relationship is we can lie and say 50-50, but I believe relationship most of the time is 80-20. And it flips back and forth. Not just one person is 80-20. It could be, the male one day is 80 and female the next day is 20. It depends on the circumstance. And hopefully sometimes they can come together and find out what's going on with each other. So with Nora do, I'm gonna go right back to you, JP. If it's 80-20 any given time, is that a good thing? In a relationship,
yeah,
giving it.
Yeah, I think that it's good. I mean, I think it ultimately it provides balance, but day to day, week to week, we're all individuals. We all have our ups and downs. So there may be a time period where you are only at that 20%, and the person in your relationship is stepping up to fill in that void or fill in that gap. I think as long as it's countered when your partner has that downtime, you're able to step up and provide the same. So yeah, I don't think it's 50-50 all the time, but you need balance of balancing each other out when one's up and one's down.
Oh, okay. Well, I want everybody to give a Dr. Dr. Petty, shout out, and James Lockhart a shout out. They're watching right now, making comments. And I'm just gonna leave the ladies alone for a minute because I'm setting something up here. Verge, can you help a brother out? So I'm dating this chick, and it just is working, but it ain't working. So what do I do to make it work? Because I really did this chick. What can I do to make it work?
So what do you mean is I need more information? What do you mean it's working? It's not working?
It's everything flowing, but it just ain't. It don't feel. It feel like something's missing. Should I be honest and ask the question, or should I just let it go and keep on, moving forward?
No, honesty is always the best policy. So you have to be very upfront with your spouse. So that way, because I believe in energy. Okay. So if you keep suppressing your energy and letting things slide, it's going to come out in other ways, and it's going to come out at an inopportune time. So I believe just being straightforward and answering the question. It's a beautiful thing. One thing I do want to comment, and this is for the listeners. Ladies, hear me when I say this. Men don't know what type of woman we want until we meet a woman that challenges us to be better. So I'm going to say this again. Men do not know what type of woman we want until we meet a woman who challenges us to be better, right? And dating, the whole conversation is about maturity. So I'm not going to be very long-winded. But I would tell you, if you ask me this advice, I will ask you, what about this person that makes you attracted other than the physical? Because men, we're visual first. Then it has to be something else to keep. It has to be something there to keep us there. So just being 100% honest. Now, if she got bad credit, I'm sorry, I can't talk to you.
Can't get a house with that bad credit, can you?
No. We I just can't do it. And you can call me bougie if you want. I understand that. You know what I mean? But you got to understand, we live in America, and I like nice things. Luxury is everything they say it is.
And more.
That is true. I agree with you 100% on that one. I agree with you 100%.
And I don't want to sound like a gold digger never, but it's just about standards. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Trust me, I've been in some good relationships before I got married, some bad ones, and I know my worth now.
Okay, you said that's the second time you use that word worth. Okay, Cheryl, I just got to ask you a question. You go out on a date, and you ask a gentleman to go out on a date. Clear up to the men that's listening. Who pays for dinner?
I have asked out men in the past to go out. I don't have a problem with asking you, picking you up, and paying. I don't have a problem with that, because I would do that for any of you on this panel. Because again, like my girl said, we're relating, we're in relationship. I don't believe that a man has to do everything in the relationship, but I do want to feel like a lady. I do want to feel that you've got my back. And the one thing that women like, and viewers hear me, men, women like stability. It's good if you look good. That's amazing. But I'm back on my bros tip. We just really in sync tonight, Virgil. I am all about, where are you going? What is your mentality? One of the most sexiest things about a man is his confidence. Knowing who he is and knowing where he is going. I'm like, where do I sign up? Where do I buy that ticket? So no, I have no problem with picking you up, asking you out, and paying for the meal.
Okay. Now, doctor, it's me and you now. Ain't nobody listening. Just me and you. Tell him, doctor. Now, I just want to know. I have a date with you tonight, but for some reason I don't show up. And it's not that when you call me tomorrow, I can't explain. What is your reaction right now when I'm supposed to be at your house at 7:00 and it's 8:30? What is your reaction? Talk to me, doctor.
If it's 8:30, I'm already either doing something else with someone else, or in my pajamas, which is doing something else with someone else, my dog. And it's not player. It's just that I mentioned this before. Dating, in my one word, was my time. My time is very valuable to me. I spend my time wisely. I plan my time wisely. Sometimes I do a little too much. That's my only, I think, downfall about time. But and so I may get tired, but then I'll course correct. But I'm not going to allow you to just waste my time, and I'm not going to waste time being mad over it. If you didn't have the courtesy, there's a lot of things I find challenging with that. If you didn't have the courtesy to communicate with me. Now, having said that, I will allow some grace for an explanation, depending upon, is this the first time you've done this? You know, maybe there was a reasonable explanation. If this is something that I'm finding to be a part of your character, then we've talked about boundaries in this conversation. And I think the most important ones that you need to have going into any relationship are your individual boundaries first, before you start to clarify what are the boundaries of a relationship. And for me, when you start to mess with my time, you're messing with a lot of other areas of my life. So we're going to probably have a problem unless I hear from you soon enough with a very reasonable explanation. And I'm very reasonable, but for you to not show up and we had a commitment in that moment for a date, we made an agreement. I set time aside for you. I may have gone shopping. I might have put it down. You know, I'm looking fierce. I have expectations that you helped create because I didn't ask you out. I wasn't going to pick you up, you know, and I'm definitely not paying for the date, but I might have invested in other ways. I might have gone shopping. I might have got my hair, makeup, nails done or whatever, because I want to have whatever it is I want to have during the date. I'm not going to be happy.
Okay. Well, just so you know, I totaled my car at that light post up the street from your house. That's what happened. So I'll be walking up soon after police towed my car away.
So then that allows a lot of perspective by the time I hear it. So I'm not going to be mad at you, but I'm gonna definitely feel like I need to hear an explanation. Once I hear the explanation, fine. But if this is, you know, something that like you're just not responsible, why did you total your car? Now I'm not, you know, I'm going to be concerned. Are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. But is this something you do often?
Okay. Well, we only got a couple minutes left, and I have a real question, and I think I forgot it already, but I'm gonna try to think it up as I do the station break. Now we'll do station break at the end. So everyone, this goes out to anyone that wants to answer. You in a relationship and everything's going smooth, and there's a hitch in the get up. Okay, that could mean the hitch in the get up. We'll just make something simple. The old girlfriend or the old flame, we'll call it, moved back in town and is chasing you around. So what do you tell the guy or the lady you're dating? What do you tell them real quick? Anybody can answer that question.
Why am I telling them? Because, and the reason I say why am I telling you is because if I'm with you, Terry, Virgil, JP, whoever, what difference does that make who's trying to talk to me? That won't even impede what we got going on. That is up to me to shut that down. And I'm not going to ever give my partner reason to not trust me or think I'm trying to do something behind their back. This person is inconsequential to what we got.
There you go. There you go.
That's a no-brainer for me. What you ain't got to never worry about that. If I still wanted him, I would go back and just tell you we're done.
Okay. Now my biggest question is, and this is reputation wise, fellas, just answer me a question. You meet a lady and you really like this lady, and you go, hey, I want a relationship with you. Then later you find out that she happened to date a couple friends. How do you react to that? Are you mature, or do you just bounce and move on? In 1 minute, give it to me because we got to go. Who wants to answer that? JP or Verge, whichever. Speak up.
I'll speak up. I mean, it's easy. I mean, at this day in age. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. We can hear you. Darla, I want to know what's the question again. Repeat the question.
Oh. At this day and age, people run into people. You know, it's possible. Things happen. I mean, at this age, you got to be mature. And if you're focused on that one person, doesn't matter. You know, their past is their past, and you're focused on the present and future. So again, you got to put those things aside, especially if you're with that person, and go for it. I mean, especially you know us in fraternities and things like that. You know, you got to shake that off. And if you really like that, love that person, go for it.
All right, JP, I'm going to cut you short. Well, we're about to run out of time here. I'm a little seconds over. I want to thank everyone for tuning to 10 TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel of global reach. This is Out of Bounds, and I'm your host, T-Wex. This is my crew. And next week, we're going to talk about something really happening today, right now. We're going to leave that alone. Do this. Wakanda forever. Anything to say in 5 seconds or less? Save if you don't have nothing to say in 5 seconds. All right. All right. Thank you, everyone. We're signing off.